Good afternoon and welcome back to the St. Clair College Sportsplex, the site of the 2015 OCAA Men's Volleyball Championships here on WeTV. Hello again, everybody. My name is Dominic Papa, joined by our analyst Dave Austin. Our second telecast of the day, second day of competition here at the OCAA Championships. First game, Dave, was a marathon of some kind, and we may just get that here with this game between Sheridan and Durham here.
I'm eagerly looking forward to this. It's one of those unknown matchups, Dom. These two teams haven't played each other, but I think they're very well matched, and we could be in for a long one here.
Sheridan 11-7 during the regular season. Durham, of course, was a perfect 18-0 coming into this tournament. A tough, hard-fought loss to St. Clair College last night. How do you expect Durham to react here, Dave?
We'll see how they respond. I bet you they didn't like the taste in their mouths last night. They're not used to that taste of defeat. It's the first time this year in a long time, so I have a feeling they'll respond like the champions of the East Conference that they are.
But the one thing we've already identified here, Dave, is that the West may be a little more deep than that of the East. Sheridan's one of those teams that creates the depth.
Sheridan is certainly battle-tested.
Yeah.
Certainly, much more so than Durham, and that's becoming apparent every time we get one of these East-West matchups.
All right, let's take a look quickly at the remainder of our schedule for today. Of course, this is the second of 4 telecasts here on WeTV. Mohawk did defeat Fleming 3-1 earlier on. We got Sheridan, Durham right now. Niagara, Fanshawe after this game, and then of course Humber and St. Clair. The game here tonight at around 8 p.m. should be another outstanding game there for the St. Clair College Saints. Take a look at some of the numbers quickly here between these two teams. Some of the key numbers, the key stats, and again, Sheridan. You look at Sheridan's number, despite having maybe not as good a record, certainly have some of the better numbers, Dave.
And a lot of their offense goes through Jeremy Fenton, and Josh Butler. I was going to call him Jeremy Butler. Those two gentlemen will get most of the attacks for that team.
Well, Coach says if you put those two guys together and make one, boy, oh boy, you have one great volleyball player. So that's what the numbers look like. Should be another outstanding contest. When we come back after the break to the St. Clair College complex, we'll have all the actions for you. Shane Burney and Dave Austin will have the call for you. You're watching OCAA Volleyball on WeTV.
It's not just about hockey. It's about getting your great education too.
Academics are equally, if not more important, than athletics. The Hockey Canada Skills Academy is a great opportunity for any student athlete to live their dream and chase their passion. It gives them an opportunity to get a workout in the morning, they're physically and mentally engaged, and it helps them as a student as well throughout the day. Our program is not just for the elite athletes, it's for everyone.
Welcome back, folks, to the St. Clair College Athletic Facility for our second match today, the middle day of the tournament. Welcome also to my color announcer, Shane Byrne. Shane, I'm looking forward to a great match here.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, two teams here that lost yesterday, but had some hard-fought battles. So we'll see what they have left in the tank for today's matchup.
They haven't played each other yet this year, so this is one of those intriguing matches the coaches like to see. You never know what's going to happen. I suspect we might be in for a long one here. The setter, number 7 for Sheridan, Ricky Brar, unfortunately starts the match with a serve into the middle of the net, and it's 1-0 Lords. Durham Lords were undefeated in the regular season and tasted defeat for the first time last night against a very motivated St. Clair College team. We'll see how they respond today. That's off the block. Number 10, Chris Adams of the Sheridan Bruins hit that heavy ball.
Yeah, it's tough for Durham there. Go 18-0 over the season and you don't even get a home playoff game.
No. Well, the championships are by bid in advance, and St. Clair got the lucky bid this year, Shane. But in the defense of the Lords, they didn't have to play a qualification game to get here either, so they had a free pass right here to this tournament. Tip attempt fails. Free ball to the Sheridan squad. Roll shot. And that is called a back row attack on number 12, Eric Jansen of the Lords.
Now, yesterday for Sheridan, they were really led by Josh Butler. He had a lot of good swings, had a lot of the attacks. So we'll see if they get Fanton the ball a little bit more today.
Tip attempt again, doesn't work. Back row attack blocked. And that's out. Another back row attempt. Number 11, Petros Kuipers hits that long. Yeah, you know, Josh Butler, he's one of those players that gets his money's worth. I don't know what he paid to get into the gym yesterday, but he got his money's worth.
Oh, that's for sure.
That ball is in. And as suspected, we're off to a tight start. Number 12, Eric Jansen, second-year player out of Hampton, Ontario, back to serve. I think one of the players we should watch closely on the Lords, Shane, is their setter, Matt Gibson. I was very impressed with the way he spread the ball around last night.
Yeah, he's the leader of this team. You can tell that he's very vocal with his coach and with his teammates and always kind of keeping them informed and involved.
6'4" setter out of Oshawa, Ontario, his 5th year, so he's got a lot of experience and he's got height, which you'll love to see at that setter position.
Yeah, not often that you get to line up a 6'4" setter. He's bigger than, looks like the middle that's next to him.
Definitely the emotional leader of this team, and to be expected at 5th year. I'm sure that leadership role is expected of him. Nice set there by the setter, Ricky Brar. Bobby Domi, 6'6" middle out of Mississauga, puts that away. First-year player.
I thought he was underutilized yesterday, so let's see if they use him a little bit more in today's matchup.
Yeah, we didn't see much of an attack out of the middle from the Bruins yesterday. Back row attack again. That's twice the Lords have been called for it early in this set.
Eric Jansen really gets a lot of swings with this team, so they're going to be keying in on him throughout the set and match.
Number 11, Jeremy Fenton with the serve and the back row attack. That's picked up by the Lords. They're attempting to retrieve it. They give up the free ball. And there's that free swinging Josh Butler coming out of the left side, and he hits a heavy ball, Shane.
He does. He swings and swings harder as the set goes on. So you'll see a lot of the same kind of swings from when he's behind the service line as well.
I bet you that shoulder gets a workout in the physiotherapy room after the match, too. That block attempt goes long. And back to serve. Matt Gibson, the setter for the Lords. They trail 5, serving 7. Float serve, handled easily by the Bruins. And the step around works to perfection. Caught Durham flat-footed there, Shane.
Yeah, they really did. They're starting to get the middle established early on today. Opens up a lot of hitting angles for the outside hitters.
And as we said, it was something they didn't seem to get going very well yesterday. So coaching adjustments have obviously been made by the Bruins. Pick up. Gibson with the save, and that's going to be a held ball on number 8. Bobby Domi.
For Durham, the one thing I'm kind of interested to see today, yesterday Petros, he kind of had a rough game, especially hitting the C balls, those back row attacks. I think he's kind of out of position. He's a natural middle, so it will be interesting to see if he's able to be the difference maker in this matchup.
That's a big front line the Lords have up there right now. And missed timing on the attack by the Bruins. Number 10, Chris Adams, swings and misses. And it's 8-7 Bruins early in this first set. Number 15, Jeremy Hoekstra, 5th-year middle out of Cobourg, Ontario. Back to serve. Back row attack to Hoekstra, and that falls. Can't be handled by the Bruin defense. The Lords tie it up at 8. The Lords look like they have a very versatile lineup, Shane. Guys are playing not in their normal positions in many of the matches we've observed.
Yeah, it seems like the coach over there has a good problem to have with, very versatile player, a lot of different lineups to throw out there. They definitely have a lot of size, so big blocks throughout the day today.
Second tallest team in the tournament from what I've seen, next to the Mohawk Mountaineers. Mountaineers are aptly named.
Yeah, we got the pleasure of watching a 7'2" volleyball player. You don't get to see that too often.
No. I think I was doing the calculations yesterday, and Mohawk averages 6'6" among their starters.
Wow.
Well, here we go again after a little cleanup on the floor. Float serve, handled easily by the Bruins. That middle attack works. Isn't handled by the Lords.
Good swing by Chris Adams there out of the middle.
Yep,
He's been active early.
I'm surprised that they've been using the middle so frequently so far. Totally different look than what we had yesterday. That ball is long. Veteran high school coach Pat Patterson on the lines there, ran for cover on that one.
Yeah, Petrus doesn't usually have a lot of topspin on the ball, so he's really got to hit good angles and keep the ball in.
There he is again, and he tools the block there. 6'6", second-year player out of Hayden, Ontario. I have no idea where Hayden is. I hope I don't insult anybody from that town.
Well, it looks like they produced a big volleyball player. Definitely a lot of potential.
He's got that lean, long body that you like to see.
Big dig.
Matt Gibson with a great dig off that hard hit ball. And the Lords convert it. Kuipers with the right side hit. That was a rocket hit by Josh Butler, but Matt Gibson was all over it. Popped it up, the Lords convert.
Matt Gibson was second on his team in total digs, so no real surprise there. Good defensive player.
That's set. Little too far outside for Josh Butler to handle. The Lords all over it for the block. And they've opened up a 2-point lead. 12-10 as we near the halfway point of this first set. I'd like to say hello to anyone from the Oshawa and Oakville areas who are tuning in today. Shane on we-tv.ca. We hope they're enjoying the action, the battle from the western side of Metro Toronto against the eastern side of Metro Toronto. Number 4, Josh Butler with the serve. Top spin serve. Handled. And the Bruins convert. Number 1, Christian Dela Cruz, the libero for the Sheridan Bruins. Handled that hit easily from the Lords. Again, libero, probably the most underappreciated position in the sport, Shane.
Yeah, they don't get all those high action kills and blocks, but definitely very, very crucial to a good team.
Every good coach will tell you it starts with the pass, and the libero's job is to take most of those first passes. Nice pass there by number 12. Eric Jansen.
Great save.
Yep. Scrambly play here. They go to Kuipers on the right side. That's dug up by Josh Butler. And number 11, Jeremy Fent with the smart roll shot. And just as we expected, Shane, this is nipping and tuck.
Yeah, this is a very close matchup. Both defenses are playing really well to start this match.
Josh Butler with a heavy topspin serve. And that's tooled off the block by number 10, Nick Coleman. 6'1", fourth-year player out of Brooklyn, Ontario. It's funny how when you look out on the court these days, Shane, these 6'1" players look small.
Yeah, it just seems to be getting bigger and bigger, and the more specialized you are, the more useful you are.
That overpass mistake by the Lords, the Bruins make them pay. Chris Adams, middle blocker for the Bruins, buries that ball for an easy kill. 15-13 Bruins. Well dug. Again, Josh Butler showing he's just not an offensive threat. But
Bobby Dami on the net unnecessarily there. Nowhere near the action. Kind of a silly point.
Somewhat of a rookie mistake. He's a first-year player, and his first shot at the OCAAs. Number 12, Eric Sampson with the serve, and the Lords score, and we're knotted up at 15-15. Jansen, as we said, out of Hampton, Ontario. Another town I don't know where that is, Shane. You're going to have to help me geographically here on some of these places.
We're going to have to travel around a little more for some college games.
We might have to get Google Maps out here on the sideline. Substitution, number 12 coming in for the Bruins. That's Scott Wiseman. He replaces number 14, Derek Fanton. Wiseman back to serve. Always a tough spot coming off the bench to serve. He handles the float. Hard swing by number 15, Jeremy Hoekstra. Veteran fifth-year player out of Cobourg, Ontario. He struggled a bit last night against the Saints, but he looks like he's got his rhythm back today.
Yeah, smart shot there. Not aiming for the attack line, trying to get that big glory kill. Aiming for the deep corners, playing within the system.
Must have been studying some game film on you, Shane. You were pretty good at that in your day.
Oh, I wish I was better at that early on. Went for the big kill, I think, a little too often.
Comes with maturity, doesn't it? Then when you get to my age, you just hope it hits the floor somewhere. Quick attack by the Lords. It's saved by the Bruins. Ricky Berard, the setter for the Bruins, with an excellent effort. And that dump, smart timing on that dump. They had the Bruin defense running around, Shane.
And for those viewers not knowing of the rule, Prar is allowed to go on the other side of the court as long as it's outside of that 9x9 area that the players are playing in.
Hard hit, Josh Butler. London, Ontario native, his fourth year. I'll bet you he's broken a few fingers in his career.
I love the way he goes after balls. They set him high and off the net, and then he can get a good approach and just swing as hard as he can.
18-17, Bruins. Kuipers is blocked. They go back to him again, and he's blocked again. Good effort. That ball is out. Linesman Joe Ratushny on the call immediately. And the Bruins open up a two-point edge. 19-17. They were all over Kuipers twice there, Shane.
Yeah, we're going to have to see Matt Gibson kind of vary the offense a little bit.
Could be in Kuipers' head a little bit. That ball was way out. And the Bruins elicit a timeout from the Lords. So we want to remind you, you're watching we-tv.ca.
Manpower. That's our specialty. We use it to build infrastructure, like the $1 billion Parkway. That's real manpower in action. End to end, over 1,000 strong, forming bridges, carving out tunnels, shaping roadways. Our manpower is in demand. Well-trained, highly skilled, tough as nails. We've got what it takes to build your career. A solid career for building a better future. LiUNA. Feel the power.
Well, Shane, what do you think the Lords are going to have to do in the way of adjustments to sneak back into this set?
Well, they've set Petrus on 3 consecutive balls there, and he hasn't been able to put anything away. So I think they need to vary the offense and take some pressure off of him. Look at them as setting, Eric Jansen or Jeremy Hoekstra here, maybe a back row pipe ball or the right side here.
Center Matt Gibson's options have too often been limited. The passing hasn't been spot on, and he hasn't had many choices. There he has some, but the Bruins were thinking on the same wavelength. Josh Butler and Chris Adams there for the double block, and Eric Hoekstra ends up eating that hit.
Durham's kind of in a bind offensively here. Got to get something going.
Well, that could help.
Yeah.
Didn't have to work for that one.
Yeah, Sheridan let him off the hook there.
Don't think Coach Dave McAllister in his 5th year from Sheridan is happy with that. They have momentum on their side, and it's like putting a pin in a balloon.
Wow. Big swing. And he's going up a big block today in Petrus. So that would be a key matchup to see. He's been really utilizing the angles that he was given there.
Doesn't even look like he's broken out a sweat yet either, too.
No, he's warming up. We'll expect a lot more swings from him.
That ball is out off the block. Number 12, Eric Jansen, with the swing. Substitution.
Yeah, Durham relieved that they got Jansen into the front row to take some of the pressure offensively.
Number 7, Luke Kilborn out of Ingersoll, Ontario. 5th-year player comes in to serve for the Lords. Float serve. It's a good one. That's a held ball on the center, Ricky Brar. Tough call there. There wasn't much he could do with that pass. Coach McAllister doesn't like what he sees and immediately calls a timeout. He senses that momentum may be shifting to the Lords. So you're watching OCAA Volleyball on we-tv.ca.
I'm Joe Quenville, coach of the Chicago Blackhawks and a proud graduate of FJ Brennan High. I can remember fondly my 5 great years at Brennan. It seems like just yesterday that we're there. A lot of great life lessons that I learned along the way, particularly from my teachers in the Catholic program. Want to wish everybody there good luck, and look forward to being a proud graduate and being a proud Cardinal going on here in Chicago.
Welcome back to St. Clair College. We're in the second match of the day, a qualifying match for the bronze medal. I guess you could call this a bronze medal quarterfinal, Shane, with the system they're using here. There's a double chance if you lose your first match to get back into the bronze medal hunt.
Yeah, it's a really interesting setup here. The team that wins the bronze medal will have played 4 matches in a weekend. Normally you only play 2 in a weekend because it's a lot of wear and tear on the body. So it's going to be a battle of attrition for the team that ends up winning this bronze medal.
Bodes well for the teams that are deep and have experience on the bench. Where do you go to when you sense momentum shifting? You go to Josh Butler, don't you?
Yeah, just so consistent. When given a good set, he's almost unstoppable.
23-20. The Lords got to be feeling a little bit shell-shocked here after going 18-0 during the season. I think they're finding the competition a little tougher than they're used to in Eastern Conference. The Bruins ride that wave of momentum to a 24-20 lead, and Coach George Matsusaki calls a timeout. He's also in his 5th year with the Durham Lords, and a desperation timeout, I think. Maybe too little too late, Shane.
I'm really liking what I see out of Jeremy Fanton as well for Sheridan. You kind of expected to see some good swings today out of Josh Butler, but yesterday we didn't see the same out of Jeremy Fanton on a consistent basis. He seems dialed in early on.
Well, during the season, he was one of the leaders for the Bruins, so it looks like you said he's found his rhythm today.
Yeah.
crowd slowly starting to build here today, Shane, and hopefully for the big match tonight with our own local St. Clair Saints playing their Toronto rivals, the Humber Hawks, we'll have a full house like we did last night. That was a great scene last night.
Oh, the atmosphere was electric. The crowd was awesome. There was the drum line going. There was cheerleaders and everything you could ask for in a big-time atmosphere.
It was also great to see the University Windsor Lancer players come out and cheering on these guys. And you don't often see that, but you really have to realize a lot of these, as younger players, play travel ball together.
Yeah, it's nice to see the Windsor community supporting each other. It's really grown over the last few years, it feels.
A little scrambly, but the Bruins keep it in play. And the Lords stay alive. Number 10, Nick Coleman, out of Brooklyn, Ontario, with the point. Yeah, it was also great to see, Shane, last night. You talked about the Windsor volleyball community. A lot of the senior volleyball players that I play with, the retired guys over 55, 60 here last night too. And that's always great to see. Doesn't matter how old we get or how long we play the game, we can always learn something.
Yeah, the action here this weekend has been great, and what a facility.
And that's out. Off, you don't see that happen, off the rafters over below the track. And Sheridan scrambles itself to a 25-21 victory in the first set of this match. So, the Durham Lords, a little bit shell-shocked, I think. And they've now played 5 sets here down in Windsor, and they've lost 4 of them.
Yeah, I think, just a different level of competition from the other division.
Yep. Well, now we'll send it over to Dominic Papa, who has an interview on the sidelines.
Guys, we have a lot of special guests and dignitaries here all weekend long taking in the OCAA Volleyball Championships. One of the gentlemen that works extremely hard for the OCAA and gets to go to a lot of these events, which is a pretty good gig, I would imagine, is Blair Webster, the Executive Director for OCAA Athletics. Thanks for doing this with us, Blair, and welcome to Windsor, first of all. And this is a pretty good gig to have, isn't it, to go watch OCAA Athletics?
It's an outstanding gig. Been doing it for 11 years, and there's great events each year put on by our host institutions, and I think St. Clair has just topped them all this year with this facility and what they've done this week so far.
All right, well, you're a little ahead of me here, Blair. I'll get into that in just a moment, but what exactly is your role with the OCAA? You do a lot of work behind the scenes for this group.
Well, I run the central office for the OCAA, so we're the sport governing body for college athletics in Ontario. We encompass 30 institutions, 16 sports. So behind the scenes, our office does all the scheduling. We help organize all the championships and just all the day-to-day back-end stuff that enables about 5,000 student athletes to compete day in and day out in college athletics in Ontario.
So a little scary maybe coming to this one. It's a brand new facility. Everybody's still feeling it out. Obviously, the OCAA awards it to St. Clair, the championships here. What goes into putting that partnership together, and how does it all work?
Well, each year at our annual meeting, our member institutions come forward and put in a bid to host one of our championships for the upcoming year. We try to highlight some of our up-and-coming facilities or brand-new facilities. And St. Clair, I think this is part of a 2 or 3 year program for them. They've spent the last couple of years building this facility, and I mean, it's just fantastic, the support that they have, starting right with Dr. Strasser, their president, right down to the student athletes and the student administration. And so they'll host men's volleyball this year, and then they'll host a national championship next year. So it's we're looking forward to, from Ontario, welcoming teams from across the country next year. It's just, as I said, it's probably the best athletic facility in Ontario.
Well, we're certainly fortunate to have it. We're fortunate to have you here. Thanks for giving it to us. Thanks for working with us. And continued success this weekend for you, okay?
Great, thank you very much.
All right, Blair Webster, the Executive Director for OCAA Athletics. Let's go back over to the play-by-play team, Dave Austin and Shane Burney.
All right, Shane, here we are getting ready to start the second set. And I notice you're looking over the stat sheet from the first set. Is there anything that jumps out at you?
Well, for Durham, you're not getting enough kills and action out of their outside hitters. They were led by Nick Coleman, their middle, and he had 4 kills on 6 attacks. So good start from him, but they're going to need more action from their outside hitters. From Sheridan, no surprise there. Josh Butler and Jeremy Fanton leading the way. Bobby Dami with 3 kills as well, and Chris Adams with 4 kills. So spread out offense for Sheridan, really taking advantage of some good sets from Ricky Pryor.
Yes, although Josh Butler is still the go-to guy, they have done a much better job of spreading the ball around, the Bruins I'm talking about, here today than they did yesterday. Number 15, Jeremy Hoekstra will start the game serving for the Lords. Top spin serve, float. That's blocked at the net. The libero sets. That's legal as long as the libero is situated behind the attack line. And the roll shot is converted.
Another kill from Butler. I think the big difference in this matchup, what I'm seeing so far, is on these broken plays, Sheridan has the opportunity to just throw a high ball up to an outside and they'll make a good decision. I don't feel like Durham has that same ability.
Center Ricky Pryor of the Bruins is called for a held ball. Poorly placed pass. His save attempt is whistled as illegal by our head official. Number 9, Mike Harper back to serve for the Lords. Third-year player out of Oakville, Ontario. Probably has a little bit of personal interest in this game. Sheridan being from Oakville as well.
Yeah, he got lucky. That serve looked like it was going a little bit long.
Might be a little bit of adrenaline coursing through his veins. Always nice to play against the local college. A little extra incentive. That is out. Josh Butler's kill attempt is long. And our head official wants to talk to the Bruins captain. He must have heard just a little bit too much chirping there.
Yeah, they're pleading. They thought they saw a touch on that one. I didn't see it. I didn't see it on this one.
He's calling for the play to begin. Coach McAllister of the Bruins wanting an explanation. I don't think he's going to get a full one like he wanted. For the referees, the pace of play is the most important factor. They want to keep the match moving. Recovered by Matt Gibson. Roll shot, and it scores. An excellent example of how you don't have to hit it hard, Shane. Just find the empty spot.
Yeah, it's right in that deep corner, so perfectly placed ball.
Lords on a bit of a run here, and they sorely need this. They need to get some momentum here in this tournament. And that didn't help. Coaches don't mind tough serving, but I think they cringe and lose sleep at night over those that fall into the bottom of the net.
Yeah, it's got to have a chance, I guess. Frustrating to see that.
It's one of the reasons us old coaches, Shane, are follically challenged late in life. We've seen too many of those. Number 11. Petrus Kuiper's back. The serve for the Lords. Overpasses and converted by the Lords. Roll. Picked up by Kuipers easily. Gibson with the pipe set, and Hoekstra uses the block. Off the block and long. Lords 6, Bruins 2.
Hoekstra really gets a lot out of his stature there. He's standing in at 6'3", not a big leaper either, so really used the good arm swing and the block there to get a lot of his kills.
He's solidly built though, isn't he?
Yeah.
Looks like he's been doing a few, little bit of weightlifting in the beautiful St. Clair weightlifting facility up on the second floor with those pipes he's got.
Ricky Pryor taking some time to tie his shoe. Might be strategic. Sometimes it's like a free timeout if you time it just right.
Matt Gibson showing some athletic ability there. Pulled the hands down from the block to avoid being tooled. There's a libero stepping in there. Second team East All-Star Luke Fafard to take that. Beautiful pass to the center, Matt Gibson, and the Lords convert, and suddenly they're at that very dangerous 5-point lead. So we want to remind you, you're watching OCAA Volleyball on we-tv.ca.
The first kiss. She's thinking about a million things, like should I lean in or let him? Do I close my eyes or open them? But for him, he's only thinking about one thing. Did she have peanut butter for lunch?
Hi, I'm Ed Jovanovski. Watch us on WeTV. We got you covered.
Well, we might be getting exactly what we suspected, Shane. The Sheridan Bruins won the first set in this match 25-21, but the Durham Lords have jumped out to a 7-2 lead in the second set, and we could be in for a long match here.
Yeah, it's been a tale of two stories, really. In the first game, Sheridan really showing their identity, strong play from the outside hitters. In this set, Durham putting a little more pressure on them with the serve and playing sound defense.
Petros Kuiper's back to serve, the tall, lanky right side player for the Lords, and nobody was up the block on that. They were caught flat-footed again.
Yeah, you don't see many bump kills.
There's been a couple of times in this match where the Lords have looked a little bit disinterested.
You know, after their first loss of the season, you know, maybe it's just a little mental thing they have to get over.
Yes, it's tough to re-gear yourself when you have that gold medal as your goal and such high hopes. And they didn't get the luckiest of draws having to play in front of that hometown crowd last night. 8-3, number 12. Eric Jansen serving. That's blocked by the Lords. Held ball called by the head official. And now the Bruins are looking a little bit out of sorts.
Yeah, Derek Fenton, his approach wasn't the greatest there. He looked like his timing was off.
Off the block and out. New setter in for the Bruins. Kind of snuck in there without us noticing, Shane. Number 9, Justin Kong in, replacing the usual setter, Ricky Brar. Coach McAllister looking maybe just for a spark from somebody. Tip attempt is read by Durham. Big block there, big block. Bobby Dami, the first-year middle player out of Mississauga.
A lot of potential there you can see, for a rookie player. Very athletic, has some good instincts.
He's got some ups and he's quick. That ball is out, and very quickly, Sheridan is within range again, down 3. Number 14, Derek Fenton serving for the Bruins. It's mishandled, and it costs the Lords another point. They look a little shell-shocked suddenly.
Yeah, that wasn't an overpowering serve, and it really seemed to catch him off guard. Passing starting to break down.
It's always worrisome as a coach when you see all the players on the floor looking at each other with a blank stare on their face. But Derek Fenton misses on the serve. Lords score a point, and they lead 10-7 with Nick Coleman back to serve. Sheridan libero handles that. A hard hit from the back row from Josh Butler. Good defense by the Lords. And that's kept alive. Off the foot of Kuipers. It's still alive. See if the Lords can convert now. Pipe shot up the middle. And that's blocked by the Bruins. Good net play from both teams in that sequence.
Yeah, really long rally there. A lot of good defense. Some people using feet even to keep the ball up. Petrus with that kick dig.
Looks like number 9, Justin Kong, the diminutive setter, 5'10" from Burlington, is giving the Bruins a little bit of a spark. That's off the hands. Powers it through. Point Lords. Number 1, emotional leader Matt Gibson, the setter out of Oshawa, Ontario, back to serve.
And he's choosing the float serve today. Yesterday he was using a jump serve for majority of the match.
Guess who?
He's pretty automatic out there. We haven't said that name too much yet this set, so he'll probably get his share of balls soon.
Yes, I'm sure setter Justin Kong will find him.
Yeah.
And realize where his bread is buttered. That hard hit cannot be handled. And the Lords remain 3 points out in front. Number 11, Petrus Kuipers with the strong hit there.
Another shoe tying. They're using nice strategic points in there.
They're going to get a yellow card warning, according to the Bruins. I believe that may be for delayed game tactics.
Second time they've tried to tie in the shoe.
Interesting strategy, but our head officials having none of it. Next time it may cost them a point.
Your partner in the next 2 games, Steve Gomes, I remember one time in a match where he untied his shoe just to retie his shoe in the middle of a set.
Well, I want to go on record as a former coach of Steve's that I never taught him that, okay? Great hit down the line. And a great set from Matt Gibson. Petrus Kuipers finds the floor for a point, and it's 13-9 Lords. Jeremy Hoekstra with the float serve. And Josh Butler. It's like a repeating record with a scratch in it.
Yeah, there's only a single block up there, and you got to expect that he's going to get the majority of the balls given the front row they have, so you got to be cheating over that way or at least be prepared for that double block.
Could be a symptom of what I was saying, Shane, that the Lords just don't look totally interested yet. I don't think they've gotten into the match, and even though they hold a 2-point lead here, they're not playing with a lot of enthusiasm, are they?
No, the energy level definitely hasn't been there just yet.
Mishandled somewhat by the libero, and the Lords have to give up a free ball. Whoa, pipe shot down the middle. Jeremy Fanton emphatically makes the Lords pay for that free ball. And free ball is called that for a meaning.
Yeah, perfectly timed attack there as well. Right in system.
It's very interesting how the substitution of the setter, Justin Kong, has kind of righted the ship for the Bruins.
Yeah, Prar played, I think, the entire match yesterday, so.
And giving up a lot of height by bringing Kong
in,
too. He's only 5'10", but he's playing with a lot of heart, and he's spreading the ball around well. And quick. He didn't have any options there. The Lords read that offensive attack, and Derek Fanton is blocked. 15-12, Durham. Number 9, Mike Harper.
Yeah, Derek Fanton, a little bit undersized at 6'2" and at a right side. Doesn't jump too well either, so he's really got to make the most of his opportunities when he does get them.
That hit came out of the left side, which he seems to be getting most of his attacks from today. While we were talking, Ricky Brar came back in. Number 7, the setter for the Bruins. Coach McAllister going through his setters like a merry-go-round here in this second set.
So Pryor will be stuck in the game for the rest of the set. They won't be allowed to sub him out again for
number
Justin
3,
Wong.
Ben Gledhill comes in, 5'8", out of Oshawa, Ontario. And for serving purposes, Petrus Kuiper's coming out. Good serve, picks on Josh Butler, but the Bruins will have none of that. Number 10, Chris Adams, 6'4", middle hitter out of Caledon, Ontario. Scores 16-14. And like you see so many times, immediately after a player gets a scoring hit, goes back to the serving line and misses.
Yeah, and usually it's not even close. Sometimes they're just way off, so it's just a little lapse of mental focus.
Yep, little lack of concentration, isn't it? Big hit. Jeremy Fanton. Good defense by the Bruins. Big block. Number 1, Matt Gibson. Number 10, Nick Coleman. Smother that hit attempt by Jeremy Fanton. And a little bit of enthusiasm being shown now by the Durham Lords as they open up a 4-point lead. Remind you they were watching OCAA Volleyball on we-tv.ca. Well, if things continue the way they are, Shane, we might want to put in an order for our pizza delivery pretty soon because this could be strung out for a while.
Yeah, we might have to call up Pizza King. They've been hooking us up all weekend.
Yes, they have, although the crew got to it pretty quickly yesterday, didn't it?
Yeah.
Didn't leave much for the announcers.
Yeah, we're looking at 18-14 in the second set here. Durham has pulled ahead.
Yes, we'd like to thank our friends at Pizza King for supplying the We-TV crew with pizza.
It's delicious.
Some of the best pizza in Windsor. That's no small feat in this city, known for its pizza. Well, Jeremy Fanton came out and said, "You're not blocking me twice in a row." And he just flew over top of that block. He has some ups.
Yeah, I realize Pryor has to spread the ball around to everyone, but I would be really focusing on getting Fanton and Butler the ball as much as possible if they want to come back here.
Free ball given up by the Lords. Step around doesn't work this time. Matt Gibson with the roll. Picked up and little miscommunication by the Bruins. Are going to have to give up a free ball. Matt Gibson says, "No, sir." And there's the value of a strong 6'4" setter right there.
Yeah, that was a terrible free ball that he put over, though.
Now, as a setter myself, Shane, that's what he'll be thinking about all night now. That'll be his happiest moment of the match.
You probably were doing the exact same thing.
No, I never could jump that high. I've been vertically challenged my whole life. And that enthusiasm that we said was lacking just a few minutes ago now it's arrived for the Lords.
Yeah, and it's coming from Jeremy Hoekstra. He seems to be screaming and enthused after a couple big blocks and big kills.
Well, he's one of your fifth-year players. He doesn't want this to be his last match of his career, I'm sure. Nice, smooth hit. Love to see players take that 75% shot, as I call it.
Yeah, if you've got more control with it and you can hit those deep corners, you don't need to hit it through the floor.
The floor rarely gives way anyways. New setter in for the Lords. Number 3, Ben Gledhill. And he's in for one sequence. Back out. Matt Gibson goes to the back row, and he will return as the center, I'm sure, number 1. Serving now. Emotional leader of this team. Float serve is a tough one.
Wow.
The Bruins chase it down, and almost got it over. Almost. 4 contacts called. Great effort on defense by the Bruins. 22-16. And Durham is past that magical 5-point mark. It's tough for the Bruins to come back now.
Getting some help, though, from Durham's serve there.
They are, but the bottom line is the Lords are thinking 3 side outs, and this set is over.
Yeah, it's tough to come back at this point.
New server in for the Bruins, number 5, Evan McAuliffe. Coach McAllister emptying the bench somewhat. Pipe shot, long. Just what we talked about earlier, we saw Jeremy Fenton with a beautiful controlled shot a couple sequences ago. Now he tries to overhit it, and it just takes off.
Yeah, that ball had a little, I think, too much lead on it where he had to jump a little too far to get to it. Has to realize that he can't get a full swing on that one.
Jeremy Hoekstra back to serve. Quick set, works again. Durham a little flat-footed at the net. I haven't been impressed in stretches. Their blocking has been very lackadaisical this afternoon. And then at other times, they'd look really good.
Yeah, they've got a very big team, so it should be their strength throughout this matchup.
23-18, the Bruins serving, down 5. Matt Gibson saves that.
One-handed block.
Yep, and it's ruled down by the head official. A little bit of disbelief there by the Lords. I tend to agree.
I think
with
it's warranted.
Yeah, I agree.
Think,
we had a pretty good look at that, didn't we?
I think that was a good, clean dig.
Ricky Brar, the setter for the Bruins, back to serve again. Nice set there by Gibson, but Kuipers cannot convert. He hits that into the middle of the net. And a timeout. Coach George Matsuaki of the Durham Lords says, don't want to let that momentum get away from us.
Yeah, big momentum swing occurring right now. That's 3 points in a row.
20-23, the Bruins serving when we come out of the break. And what are they going to have to do, Shane?
They got to really settle down offensively. They know what's coming, and they've been really going to Petrus in these kind of bind situations, and he hasn't really come through for them. So look for them to, maybe throw a ball out over to Jansen or Hoekstra to take this match or take this set.
Yeah, it would be a devastating loss if they let this one get away. So I'm sure Coach Matsusaki is reminding them of that, settling them down, saying, let's get a good pass. That's what it always starts with, right? A good pass. And Gibson's pretty astute at spreading that ball around, so I'm sure he'll make the right choice.
Yeah, and if you're Sheridan here, if the ball does come over the net, give your best players a chance to win this set for you. Throw some big sets up to...
who might that be?
Derek Fenton or Josh Butler. That's what I'm looking for if I was the head coach.
We've said those names a lot this afternoon, haven't we? Good serve, and that is not the best pass. It doesn't leave the center with many options, but you know what? Number 12, Eric Jansen, fixes it and may have saved this set for his teammates.
1 point away now.
A smart hit again. Didn't try to overhit that. Into serve, number 14, Braden Rogers out of Leaskdale, Ontario. Big hard hit again. Josh Butler stares through the net emphatically after that hit. You got to be careful with that, though. The officials don't like to see that.
No, they won't put up with it. He might get carded at some point. It'd been interesting to see if he attacks this serve or if he just tries to keep it in play.
I don't think he has anything to lose.
No.
He attacks it, it's long and out, and the Durham Lords recover for a 25-21 victory in the second set of this match. So here we go. Settle in, folks. We're all tied at 1-1. You are watching OCAA Volleyball on we-tv.ca.
Imagine a place to climb, to tumble, to fly, to run, to glide, to achieve, where a sense of health, friendly competition, and growth all come together. Can you imagine that place, that destination? We have, and we're building it right now in Windsor, with a planned development of almost 200,000 square feet of athletic playground, and that's just on the inside. Central Park Athletics, some of it's already here, the rest is coming soon. Imagine that.
Hi, I'm Ed Jovanovski. Watch us on WeTV. We got you covered.
Well, welcome back to St. Clair College, folks. The sixth match of this OCAA tournament, all, of course, broadcast on we-tv.ca. And, of course, we'll bring you the remaining 6 matches after this one. Here's today's schedule. We already saw Mohawk defeat Fleming 3-1 earlier today. A very interesting match, Shane, probably closer than most people expected.
Yeah, that third set went 34-32. So there were some really tight sets within that match, but Mohawk just too athletic, too overpowering.
We're presently broadcasting the 3:30 match between Sheridan and Durham, and both teams have scored 46 points, and both teams have won one set, so we're all knotted up heading into the third. And of course, tonight we have 2 great matches, semifinal matches for the gold medal game at stake at 6 o'clock, Niagara versus Fanshawe. 2 teams I consider 2 of the best defensive teams and quickest teams in this tournament. And then at 8 p.m. we have probably the 2 most offensive-minded teams in the tournament, Humber and St. Clair, the local team playing. And we expect a really, really rowdy atmosphere for that one tonight.
Yeah, Humber has the leading point getter in league history, followed by St. Clair with, second place.
Yep, it's
Jay Hernandez and Terrell Bramwell.
It's being billed as Terrell Bramwell and Josh Hernandez. But I got a sneaking suspicion, as you know, Shane, that the difference will come from somebody else on the floor.
Yeah, those guys are going to get their points. It's the other guys on the team that are really going to be the X factors.
Yep. And we're really looking forward to broadcasting that this evening for you folks. So join us on we-tv.ca. Number 7, the setter Ricky Brar to open this third set for Sheridan with the serve. Float serve is handled by the Lords, but that ball is hit out by number 9, Mike Harper.
Looking at some statistics after that second set, no surprise on the Sheridan side. Jeremy Fannin and Josh Butler are leading the way with kills. Chris Adams has 6. And on the Durham side, more of a balanced attack from Hoekstra, Jansen, Kuipers, Coleman, even from Mike Harper. Everyone between 2 to 5 kills there.
Number 12 for the Lords, Eric Jansen with the kill, and we're knotted at 1. Nick Coleman back to serve. Sorry, we make that Mike Harper, 6'4" middle out of Oakville. Blocked by Kuipers, playing big on the right side. Free ball given up by the Bruins. Little miscommunication on that set up the middle. Backside set. Josh Butler makes no mistake.
Yeah, he's leading the way again for Sheridan.
Back to serve. And he's been just as dangerous in the back row as he has been in the front row in this match so far.
Yeah, I think where volleyball is headed, a good right side attacker should almost have the same approach for both balls. Should be set off the net and somewhere just in front of that 3-meter line.
Well, we've seen the importance of the right side hitter increase exponentially in the last few years, Shane. And the last Olympics were a great example where Brazil jumped out to a 2-0 lead on the Russians, and the Russian coach made a very courageous move, taking his middle hitter, 7-1 middle hitter, moving him to the right side for the rest of the match. And it was questioned at the time, and he turned into the star of the match. The Russians turned it around and won the gold.
Yeah, it really makes sense, though, when you think about it. The left sides have generally gotten a good chunk of the balls, but as you want to keep the flow of the game balanced, you're going to have that right side's going to get more opportunities.
As you speak, a perfect example, number 14 for the Bruins. Derek Fan had nobody up blocking on him, but unfortunately he probably got so excited he hit it long. He probably couldn't believe there wasn't anybody up on him.
Yeah, it caught him off guard.
Overpass cost the Bruins, and Durham noses in front in this critical third set, 4-3. Little consultation about the scoring here.
Yeah, the third set really going to decide where the momentum shifts. One team's going to be one set away from moving towards the bronze medal, and the other team's going to be one set away from their season ending.
That floats out. Smart decision by Josh Butler to keep away from that. It's 4-4. We're knotted up 1-1 in sets. And each team up to this point has scored 50 points in this match. Out of bounds on the tip attempt by Jansen. Official reminds the Sheridan players to send the ball off to the ball retrievers on the opposite side of the court. Mishandled by Josh Butler, and he's not happy about it. Good to see a player who's such an offensive asset take great pride in his defense too.
Yeah, you really have to be a two-way player the way the game is today. If you can't pass, they're going to kind of focus in on you, so you got to be able to pass as well as you can hit.
And he does that well. There's a good example right there. Good dig by Jansen in the back row. And that results in a point for the Lords.
Momentum really shifting Durham's way after that second set. Only up 1 point at the moment, but playing much cleaner volleyball.
Eric Jansen with the serve. Josh Butler again. Spot on pass. Block made by Hoekstra. Over to Jeremy Fanton. Hoekstra with the up. Nice set. But Kuipers didn't look ready for that one.
No, he hasn't seemed in rhythm with that right side C-ball all tournament. So they keep going to it, and I think they're hoping it will develop. But so far, nothing going.
I couldn't question Matt Gibson set there or looked fine. Kuipers was just a little late arriving. Hit up the middle, doesn't work. 4 hits called. Jeremy Fanton unable to get it over the tape. Interesting, we talked about the size of the Durham Lords, but where they're most undersized is in the middle, which traditionally your bigger players are in the middle.
Yeah, on our roster sheet here, they have 2 of their middles moved out to play right side and left side. So strategic move there to get some of their bigger players on the outside.
They might be looking for more quickness out of that middle blocking position. I think they've discovered in this tournament that the pace of play with these Western teams is a little faster than what they've been used to throughout the season in the Eastern Conference, and that may have prompted that change. Get a little more quickness out of the middle. Jeremy Fanton back to serve. We're knotted up at 7-7. Matt Gibson with the push attempt, doesn't work. Saved by the libero. Nice pass there. Ricky Breyer over to Josh Butler, that's red. Oh, a joust at the net. And number 7, Ricky Brar, is called for being on the tape.
Our first net call of the day today. In our previous match, we must have had close to 15 net calls. It was very undisciplined volleyball at the net. I think just everyone was a little too excited.
Either that or I think that down official, he had his eyes glued to that top tape. He wasn't taking them off the tape, and you're right. We had a lot of them. The Lords jump out to a 2-point lead. Matt Gibson back to serve. Not the best pass from Jeremy Fanton. Josh Butler with a roll shot, doesn't work. Read by the Lords. Kuipers tools the block with a hard hit. He looked a little more in rhythm there.
Yeah, one thing he has consistently done is swung hard. So if the hands are there, he's going to use them. If they're not there, hopefully he'll stay in the court.
Good pass. And the dump attempt fails by Brar. Matt Gibson couldn't jump on that. He's a back row player at the moment. Pipe shot, and it works. Jeremy Fanton with a smart tip out of the middle. Though he may have had no choice, that set was a little low.
Chose a nice spot, though, in the middle of the court. Saw the defense collapsing, but they couldn't get there in time.
A little bit of campfire defense there from the Lords. They gathered around that campfire, and it fell right in the middle. Big block by the right side defense of the Bruins. Number 7, Ricky Brar, I think, got most of that. Eric Hostra is denied. 10-9. It's tightened up again. Surprise, surprise. Back row roll shot by Hoekstra. Jeremy Fanton the same. Returns the favor. Kuipers coming out of the left side now. Shane?
Yeah, seems to be a switch of rotation here. I don't think they made any substitutions.
Jansen up the middle with the back row pipe shot. Oh, and Josh Butler, one of the few mistakes he's made today.
Yeah, he never really allowed himself to get a full approach there. Kind of just tried to go stand still and jump up and get it, but you're not going to jump as high and your rhythm's going to be off.
I don't know what Captain Jeremy Fanton's doing over there questioning the head official. Might be asking him where he's going for dinner tonight, but I didn't see him anything controversial there.
No, me neither.
Off the block. Ricky Brar's going to have to joust at the net. He does. Gets the set, runs the middle. Smart set there, but the Lords play good defense. Get it back. Little confusion. Back to the middle again. That was smart choices right there by Ricky Brar.
Yeah, sometimes when that middle passes the ball, you're expecting immediately for the ball to go outside. He was ready to go up quickly and got the easy kill.
The most effective sets are always those that go where everybody in the gym doesn't think they should go.
Yeah, you got to be unpredictable as a setter. You got to read the defense and try to gain any advantage you can.
Well, Ricky has done a generally good job today. He's caught the Lord blocking team flat-footed many times this afternoon. He's distributed the ball well. Back to serve. Number 7. And it's a good one.
Serving right down the line there. Forced him into a decision whether it was in and out and couldn't handle it.
And we're tied at 11-11. We've been saying that a lot today, the word tie. Another tough serve. Hoekstra handles it over to Kuipers, and he swings hard again.
Yeah, two very evenly matched, but very different teams.
Number 10, Nick Coleman, the 6'1" middle, back in. We talked about the middles for the Lords today being a little bit undersized compared to normal. Well, I think Ricky Brar got away with one there.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was a curveball or a knuckleball that came out of his hand. He held on to it for a while.
Yeah, and Chris Adams was forced to kind of chop at it as well. Both kind of unorthodox plays.
Josh Butler to serve. Top spin serve. Nice pass. Boy, Jansen was flying at that one, but chose to tip. Oh, Josh Butler on the middle again. That was low. And the Durham Lord defense smothered that immediately. Petros Kuiper's back, 6'6" out of Hayden, Ontario. You know I'm going to look that up when I get home tonight. Nice set by Brar. But again, Derek Fanton seems to be getting a little bit overexcited. A couple of times he's gotten great sets. He's had really nobody looking at him at the other side of the net, and he's blown the ball out of bounds.
Yeah, just too many errors. I haven't seen many good swings out of him today.
That's a better hit. It's picked up by the Lord defense and up the middle. The stocky, burly senior Jeremy Hoekstra. Timeout, Sheridan, as they fall 3 points behind, 15-12. So you're watching OCAA Volleyball on we-tv.ca.
1 out of 7 children across Canada are at risk of going to school on an empty stomach. That's why Breakfast Club of Canada provides a healthy breakfast to school kids nationwide every day, which can help to build a bright future for Canada's children. But there are still many more children who need our help. So please help us provide breakfast to the children who need it. Donate now on our new giving platform, ICanGoWithout.com, and visit breakfastclubcanada.org for more information.
Back at St. Clair College, where this plucky Sheridan Bruins squad is hanging point for point with a very talented Durham Lords outfit. We noted before the match, Shane, that 5 of the players on the Durham Lords made either the first or the second East All-Star team this season.
Yeah, when you go 18-0 in the regular season, you're going to get a lot of accolades. 5 All-Stars, so that's very impressive.
So here we are, number 11, Petros Kuiper's back to serve as play restarts with the Lords leading 15-12. And they do exactly what they're supposed to coming out of the timeout. The Bruins go to their bread and butter man, one of their bread and butter men, Jeremy Fanton, and it's 15-13. Number 10, Chris Adams back to serve. Nice set by Matt Gibson. And number 12, Eric Jansen, converts. Gibson went low for that one and made it look easy, didn't he?
Yeah. Some tough defense here from the Bruins, almost getting that one up.
Jansen back to serve. That's handled by Adam. To the middle. And you know what? We haven't seen enough of that in this third set, sorry.
That's true.
It worked early and often. Bobby Domi started the game like a house on fire, but they haven't gotten back to him much since.
Yeah, he's been quiet, and actually Jansen, we haven't heard that name in quite a bit as well for Durham.
Just as you speak. He makes a couple digs in the back row. Hoekstra, cross-court smash, scores. He's stepped up his game here in the third set.
Yeah, he's played well today. Makes the most out of his opportunities.
Number 10, Nick Coleman back to serve for the Lords. They now lead 17-14. That's handled by the Bruins. Out to Fanton, and he replies. He's looking a lot looser than he did yesterday.
Yeah, he's heating up in this set. He saw that 3-point deficit earlier at that last time out, and he's had 2 big kills since then.
Doesn't look like an assassin, but he sure plays like one. Little missed timing on that middle hit. Out to Josh Butler, out. He's been a little tentative the last few opportunities he's had.
Yeah, he's gone to the roll shot a little more often than we saw yesterday.
Could be the fact that the Lords are putting up a big block on him. Are out to him again, and this time he makes no mistake. 18-16. Sheridan Bruins to serve. Number 9 coming in. We've seen him a couple times, Justin Kong, and he's coming in specifically to serve. I wouldn't be surprised to see Coach McAllister use him as a setter in a 6-2 system here as well. Nope, he's not. He's going to play defense over in position number 4. That tip attempt is just rejected soundly.
Yeah, Josh Butler kind of struggling at this point in the game. Not getting the sets that he's wanted and, really taking a lot off. Going to the tip and roll shot a little too often.
Hoekstra back to serve. Brar with the set. That middle attack is read well by the Lords. They have a little more hop to their step now, don't they, Shane?
Yeah, playing with a lot of energy right now. It's kind of interesting to see how the mood swings and the energy levels change throughout the match. Sheridan had been playing with much more energy throughout, but Durham definitely taking the edge in that category right now.
Josh Butler doing what he does best and swinging with abandon at that last one. Smart middle hit by the Lords. The Bruins unprepared for the quickness of that attack. And the Lords doing exactly what they have to do. They're maintaining that three-point edge. They're siding out every time the Bruins head back to that serving line.
And you got to really credit Matt Gibson. He's really spread the ball around a lot today. Even, going to guys who maybe aren't doing their best, but, working them into the system.
Ricky Brar, I might have called that a double contact if I was up on that stand, but head official lets it go. That's blocked. Kuiper's attempt. Gibson, nice high set. Jansen's. Great recovery there by Josh Butler. This is an important point now. That goes to the Lords. The pipe shot up the middle. Again, set might have been a little low. 21-17, Durham Lords.
Josh Butler pleading, give me the ball.
Yes, he's kind of faded and been there and then faded again. We're watching OCAA volleyball on we-tv.ca.
Bye.
Great. My car's blocked in.
I got this. I think the parking brake is on. Geez, what's in this thing, rocks?
Well, here we are back at this beautiful facility, Shane, and I know that everyone associated with St. Clair College, the administration, the staff, the athletic staff, they've got to be really proud of themselves. By all accounts, everyone I've talked to, this has been a wonderful, wonderful tournament so far.
Yeah, it's been a combination of great accommodations from all the staff here, as well as the beautiful facility. They've really kind of knocked it out of the park on both ends.
And the volleyball has stepped up to the bar
yeah,
as
I guess
well.
that's good too.
Yeah, exactly. Number 7 for the Lords, Luke Kilborn serving. There's Josh Butler. You had to suspect that Coach McAllister may have instructed Ricky Brar to send the ball to number 4 out of that timeout.
When you got an outside pleading for the ball, hungry for it, it's a great sign, because I'd rather have 6 guys on the court that want the ball than guys kind of hiding away from it.
Petrus Kuipers comes out of nowhere, seemingly.
He's made some crafty shots during this set that kind of surprised me and as well the Sheridan defense.
Second-year player, he's got a big future. Into serve, number 3, Ben Gledhill out of Oshawa, Ontario, hometown boy for the Lords. Overpass. Jansen tried to make them pay. Oh, crafty dump by Matt Gibson, but it was red. 4 contacts called by the head official. And that dump by Matt Gibson put the Sheridan Bruins on their heels immediately. They weren't prepared for that. 23-18. The Lords slowly starting to assert themselves. And just as we say that serve finds the net.
Well, this is it for Sheridan. If they don't make a run here, this set is toast. They got to pull within, 1 or 2 before they get too late.
That's not going to help. Number 10, Nick Coleman with a hard hit out of the middle. Caught the Sheridan defense totally flat-footed.
Yeah, good swing out from Coleman. Now they need to play perfect volleyball. Set likely going to the Lords.
On your advice, I'll put money on Vegas on that, Shane. But not yet.
Wonder what the line's at.
Number 11, Jeremy Fanton, sorry. Keeps the Durham Lords at bay. Miscommunication, but Sheridan scrambles as well. Josh Butler, well, when in doubt, go to number 4.
Yeah, and a great set from Jeremy Fanton, just popping it up to him. Those Vegas lines might be changing a little bit.
The line might have shifted a bit, but I still think the Lords are the favorite to finish this out. Matt Gibson, smart hit, and that's it. Another 25-21 game. We've had 3 of them now. So, a very important third set. The Durham Lords prevailed 25-21, and they are now up 2-1 in this bronze medal qualifying match.
Yeah,
And
this brings Sheridan 1 set away from having their season end, so we'll see how they rebound to that last set loss.
Yep, and to Sheridan's credit, they have a young team. There's no 5th-year players anywhere on this roster. This tournament's probably been a great experience for them.
Yeah, definitely. Durham has kind of started imposing their will as the sets have increased. That was probably the best set they've played so far.
All right, we're going to send it over to Dominic Papa, who has an interview on the sidelines.
A lot of great fans here in the Sportsplex this weekend. A lot of Durham fans here today helping out their men's volleyball team. This is Lindsay Panchin. She actually plays for the basketball team, which will be in action here tomorrow afternoon against the St. Clair ladies. A playoff game at that. WeTV will have that game for you live as well. But Lindsay, thanks for doing this for us. And tell me about your guys. How they doing?
Well, all season they've been killing it. Their defense has gotten actually better. I've seen a lot of their games. I work for our school scorekeeping, so they've been really doing a good job. So it's exciting that we got to come see them and support.
Yeah, how ironic is that you got to come in early, get to see them play, help them out a little bit? Yeah. I'm sure they'll be doing the same for you tomorrow as well. But tell me about Durham College athletics there. What it's all like? What's the spirit like there?
The spirit has grown since the beginning of this year. It is my first year. I think that it can build a little bit stronger. But like today, we have an opportunity to come support them. Yeah, so the spirit's not bad. Okay. We got cool gear, you know.
Yeah, you got some
fans
swag.
we have some noisemakers, so it's good.
It's all good stuff. Quickly, a comment about tomorrow's game. We're looking forward to it. It's going to be exciting. Teams, obviously, I'm sure pumped up for it. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that for us to win this game, we're going to have to come out and be ready mentally. We can just guard their good players. Shannon Kennedy, we got to shut her down. She's hitting a lot of threes, so that's what we're trying to do tomorrow. So win.
Yeah. Well, everybody wants to win, but we hear that a lot about Shannon. We got to shut Shannon down. It'll be a tough task. Should be a great game. Enjoy this one, Lindsay. Thanks for doing this with us, and thanks for coming to Windsor.
No problem.
All right, Lindsay Panshin of the Durham ladies basketball team. Again, they'll be in action here tomorrow afternoon. You can watch that game on WeTV, as well as we'll take a break from the volleyball, and we'll stay right here at the Sportsplex and bring you all that action. So a lot of good stuff going on, guys. Let's send it back over to the play-by-play team.
Thanks, Dom, and great to see Lindsay and her teammates out here showing some Durham spirit. But if they want to see some real spirit, I suggest they come out tonight and watch that St. Clair match at 8 o'clock. I think they might see a little bit of spirit there.
Yeah, it's going to be a raucous crowd tonight. Really excited to see that match between Humber and St. Clair.
And of course, if you can't make it in person, you can certainly watch our broadcasts on we-tv.ca starting at approximately 8 o'clock tonight. It should be a real event. So here we go to start the fourth set. The Durham Lords up 2-1 over the Sheridan Bruins, and Jeremy Hoekstra, fifth-year player out of Cobourg, Ontario, back to serve for the Lords. Off the top of the net, handled by the Bruins. That ball off the block and down on the Durham side of the net. Came down so quickly, it was I didn't see it.
Taking a look at some statistics from our first three sets. As expected, Sheridan's offense being led by Josh Butler and Jeremy Fanton, both of them over 30 sets already. So a lot of offense coming from them, 13 and 12 kills respectively from Butler and Fanton.
Big block right there by the Lords, and again they show a little bit of that fire that was sorely missing for about the first set and a half, really.
Yeah, and on the Durham side, it's been a team effort. I'm looking at the stats here. 4 players have at least 15 sets, so I really commend Matt Gibson on how he's spreading the ball around.
Durham saves that. Gibson picks up the tip attempt by Fanton. Roll shot by Jansen, picked up by Brar. Big block. Petrus Kuipers.
We're seeing a little more emotion out of Durham. We hadn't seen that earlier in the match. I think they're smelling blood and want to put this one away.
A little caution by the head official to the Durham players, maybe a little over enthusiastic celebrating there. Number 9, Mike Harper serving. Overpass, and the Lords make them pay. Nick Coleman, and as you said, Matt Gibson really making some smart choices now. He's really spreading the ball around, and the Bruins are having a hard time setting up a good double block.
Yeah, it's hard to predict where the ball's going when he's been so balanced.
That ball's handled easily by the Bruins, and as usual when that happens, that means it's going to Josh Butler, and he can be called the Terminator today.
He'll be back. You'll see him later on.
Off the top of the net, Butler's serve. Mishandled, but no call. Jeremy Fanton. Oh, Matt Gibson. Wow. Great play. His teammates appreciate that, don't they?
Yeah, Coleman is on the receiving end from a great set from Matt Gibson.
And smart play by Coleman to trust his setter on that one, too, and still make the run. Ricky Brar with the set. Tip attempt. Smart tip by Jeremy Fanton. Falls despite the defensive effort by Petrus Kuipers.
Petrus dove for the ball and tried to hide, get out of the way so his other teammates could get after it.
Again, we hope all you viewers in the Oakville and Oshawa areas are enjoying this broadcast on we-tv.ca. Tell your friends about us. And if one of your teams survives this match, well, one will have to. Tune in again, because we're going to broadcast all the games of this tournament.
Yeah, the winner tomorrow will play at 9 a.m. So they get a nice early start.
So there you go, our viewers in Oshawa and Oakville. Get up for some early breakfast tomorrow and tune in at 9 o'clock because the winner of this match will be in the bronze medal semifinal match.
Yeah, and they will be playing Mohawk. We don't know who Mohawk's opponent is just yet, but Mohawk will have an 11 o'clock game, and I think 1 o'clock game will be the bronze semifinal.
Well, actually, I think there's a 9 o'clock game that the winner of this game will be in.
Yeah.
They'll play the loser of one of our matches tonight. Mohawk will play in the 11, and then the survivors of those two games will play in the bronze medal final at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's a strange system.
Yeah.
Very easy to get confused. I had to read it about 6 times myself before I finally figured it out.
And it's the last year of the system as well.
It is. They're just going to go to a regular straight elimination 18 tournament next year. The Lords on a bit of a run. Eric Jansen serving, 7-4. Fantin hits the chest of Eric Hoekstra. Jeremy Hoekstra, sorry. Fantin again. Durham playing much more determined defense now, and it's paying off. And you can see it in their enthusiasm as well. A lot of smiles in that huddle.
Yeah, I think they're, the momentum has built. They have everyone involved, and I think they're sensing the victory is near.
It's amazing how, when you're coaching young men, it's so hard to get them to play defense. But then once they understand and they start playing good defense, then they get it how much more fun the game is. And you can see it there.
Yeah,
couple really good defensive plays, and suddenly everybody's happy on the team.
And you know what makes it even better? Playing with like a really high ceiling like this, those big digs from the big hits stay in play more often.
Yes, they do.
It just makes better volleyball.
Great point, Shane. And our seniors league plays here twice a week. We were thrilled to be here. And we've tried to hit that ceiling. We can't do it. Now, I don't know if it's lack of strength or just the height of the ceiling, but.
Oh, I bet it's the height. I was scrimmaging against the St. Clair team last weekend, and I tried to bump a ball to the ceiling. Couldn't get it there.
No, you can maybe get it to the base of the track that's up on the 3rd floor, but it's pretty hard to get it right to the top here. Sheridan closes it up a bit, and it's now 8-6. Derek Fantin back serving, the 6'2" native of Mississauga, Ontario, his 2nd year with the Bruins. Nice pass by Janssens. Saved by the Bruins, but they're going to have to give up a free ball. It's an easy one. The libero for the Lords steps in, but they're not able to convert with a big attack there. Wow. Rocket hit by Jeremy Fantin. Good defense being played by number 4, Luke Fafard for the Lords, the libero. Free ball again given up by the Bruins. There it goes. Nick Coleman, and as this match has worn on, it's become more and more obvious that Matt Gibson and Nick Coleman, they kind of have a special connection there, don't they?
Yeah, they do, and it's really keeping Bobby Dami on his toes. He had to kind of follow him behind the setter there, but yeah, really good connection from Coleman and Matt Gibson so far today.
Fantin with the hit, good defense by Petrus. Excellent effort by Matt Gibson, but to no avail. All he does is pass it to me, and I mishandle it, of course.
You weren't able to put that third pass over the net.
No. 7 serving 9. Jeremy Fantin, number 11, 6'4", left side player out of Mississauga, Ontario, serving for the Bruins. Luke Fafard with the pass. Over to Hoekstra, and he a little too enthusiastic with that one. The ball got behind him a bit.
Yeah, the set was really far off the net, and he tried to take a regular swing on it when, it didn't really have it in him.
So the Bruins sneaking up slowly, and that falls. Great float serve. Looked like it hit a wall in about the last 3 feet there.
And now we've got a 9-9 game. It seemed like Durham was kind of pulling away with this set, but Sheridan has quickly clawed back.
That floats out. Well, we suspected that at least a couple of these matches today, Shane, may go on for a while, and this was one of my high candidates, and here we are at the 5:30 hour, and we're still well into it. In. Linesman Pat Patterson, right on the call. Pat's been a high school coach in the city of Windsor for many, many years. He's produced a lot of great players, St. Joseph's High School in particular. Before that, Assumption High School. Good to see him out officiating in his golden years now.
Yeah, he's definitely deserved to get out and ref some quality volleyball like this.
And it's great to see a lot of people involved in volleyball in the city of Windsor, Shane. They're not only been players and coaches, but they've gotten involved in officiating too, and it really makes you see the game from a whole different angle.
You've taken that route yourself as well.
I've retired from officiating, though. It got in the way of retirement for me. I was having too much fun during the day, and then having to go referee a game halfway through the day was getting in the way of my fun. 11-11.
You didn't want to be part-time retired. You just wanted to be full-time.
Yeah, exactly. It's a pretty good lifestyle. Eric Hoekstra with the serve. Big block, and he was all by himself. Petros Kuipers, one-on-one, timed it perfectly, and that's like stealing a point.
Yeah, Petros is a great matchup to put against Butler there. Just two big individuals. Big blocks and big attacks.
Kuiper showing some fingers. Oh. Ricky Brar getting a little too excited there. As a coach, you never like to see your setter do something like that. Jeremy Hoekstra back to serve. 13-11, Durham puts itself out in front again. Float serve, handled by the Bruins. Josh Butler, that had to hurt. Kuipers might need some more tape after that. That was a heavy ball.
Yeah, he's got his right hand taped right now. I think he was preparing for some of those.
He might have matching tape on the left hand pretty soon. Setter Ricky Brar back to serve.
Good float serve.
6-3 setter out of Brampton, his second year. The Lord's asking for the floor to be cleaned here. There's no doubt in my mind there might be a little bit of sweat on that floor. These
yeah,
players,
4 sets in, these guys are plenty warm. That float serve there, really like it. Barely made it over the net. A nice, flat, hard serve. A lot of movement in a gym like this.
Yep. Brar again, 13-13 the score. That's dug by the libero for the Bruins. Christian De La Cruz. Tip attempt, falls. Well timed. You could just see the Bruin defense. They were all back on their heels expecting another hard smash, and it just didn't happen. De La Cruz has played a pretty steady match for the Bruins. 5'9" libero out of Caledon, Ontario, his first year. He's young, and he looks really young too, doesn't he, Shane?
Yeah, he doesn't show any fear out there, though. He seems pretty comfortable making those big digs. One of the best developments in the sport of volleyball, in my opinion, to keep the small statured player involved in the game was the development of the libero position. Yeah, it works in multiple ways. You know, it gets shorter players involved in the game, but it also just makes the game a higher quality.
Certainly.
You know, much better defense, much better passing, more fun to play and watch.
Petros Kuipers back to serve. 15-14 Lords. Interesting choice on that set, but Gibson unable to play that one. Strange effort, really. Looked like he was more like a ballet dancer on that one than a volleyball player, but Kind of a lull in the match right now. Both teams kind of seems like they're taking a second breath.
Yeah, we'll see who's got fight left in them. Coleman has played really well, though.
He has.
Impressed with them today.
Through the block and down on the Lord's side of the net, Derek Fanton, right side hitter out of Mississauga. We're assuming Jeremy's brother. Probably a pretty good assumption.
I think so. There's quite the resemblance.
That may have been going out, but number 10 for Sheridan, Chris Adams, makes a diving attempt and touches it. So Eric Jansen scores on the cross-court hit. 16-16.
Sheridan playing without a libero right now.
Pass is low, saved by the setter. Overpass, Gibson changes the direction. Nice choice there, but no one ready over on the right side. Gibson is forced to play the first contact. Going to get a rare hit for a setter. He decides to tip it. Bruins having nothing of that. Back to Josh Butler. There's not much he can do with it. Nice block. Gibson saves it. Hoekstra sends it over. Free ball. Bruins have a chance. And Jeremy Fanton hits the top of the tape. It rolls about 6 feet along the top of the tape and heads out.
Been really impressed with Durham's team approach to defense and offense. They don't have one superstar that they can go to offensively to take them through the match, so they're getting a lot of contributions from everyone.
Well, Jeremy Fanton's got to be frustrated. He's hit a couple of rockets in this set, and Durham has handled them just like they're free balls.
Yeah, Luke Favard is playing really well tonight.
And there he is using the Sheridan tactic of tying his shoes.
That's the 4th untied shoe we've seen this match.
People stepping all over their shoelaces.
It probably means they're playing pretty hard and might need a breather.
Hoekstra off the top of the block. It's recovered by the Bruins. Nice set, and Fanton makes them pay off the block. That was a great set by Ricky Brar. He didn't have a lot of options, but
he got it out to the antenna, off the net, gave him a lot of options.
Overpass. Gibson saves it, at least makes the tip out of it. Back row attack, but Coleman and Hoekstra have nothing of it. Josh Butler, unfortunately for Sheridan, sort of disappeared in this 4th set. We haven't called his name a lot.
No, he started off well in the first set, and into the second set he was playing well, and it's kind of been quiet. A lot of roll shots, a lot of tips, and I think his matchup going against the big block that Durham has is throwing him off his game.
It looks like he may be having a little bit of trouble in that 6-inch space between his ears. He's thinking about that block maybe a bit too much. Well, Jeremy Fanton doesn't care. He's continued to swing away. Substitution, Coleman back in. Number 7, Luke Kilborn, was in just to serve, but then Coleman comes immediately out for the libero.
So we're looking at 19 for Sheridan, 18 for Durham. Still anyone's ball game.
Mishandled by Fafard, that's rare. And the Lords have to give up a free ball. See if the Bruins can convert. Josh Butler hits it hard enough that the block attempt goes all the way out at the opposite side of the court, at the opposite end of the court. So we want to remind you that you're watching OCAA Volleyball on we-tv.ca.
Manpower. That's our specialty. We use it to build infrastructure, like the $1 billion Parkway. That's real manpower in action. End to end, over 1,000 strong, forming bridges, carving out tunnels, shaping roadways. Our manpower is in demand. Well-trained, highly skilled, tough as nails. We've got what it takes to build your career. A solid career for building a better future. LiUNA. Feel the power.
Well, Shane, here we are back at St. Clair College, this beautiful new athletic facility, and it's crunch time in this fourth set.
Yeah, we're looking at 18-20. Durham has been fighting to end this match, but Sheridan's not ready to let them have it.
No, Durham leads the match 2-1, but they're down here by 2 points with Jeremy Fant, number 11, back to serve for the Bruins. Tough floater handled by Fafard. Little bit of miscommunication on that offensive attack. Pipe shot up the middle. Brought back in by Gibson. Very athletic play. But the pipe shot reply by the Lords does not work. 21-18, and you can sense Seneca has a little bit more momentum on their side right now.
Sheridan, you mean?
Sorry, Sheridan. Yeah. I've said Seneca a couple times. I must have them on my mind.
Oh, now we're looking at 19-21. Still anyone's game. Big serves here from Matt Gibson.
Nice big lineup now in the front row for the Lords. We'll see if they can take advantage of that. That's handled by Dela Cruz, the libero. In, right on the line, Josh Butler.
What a swing. Over top the block, pain in the back line, indefensible. He needs a few more of those swings.
Wow, we're seeing something here that rarely happens. The head official just overruled the linesman. Interesting, because the Lords never really complained about that call.
No.
The linesman called it in. The head official reverses the call. And a critical point in the match for that to happen.
Huge point. Impressive swing, either way.
Sheridan Bruins not happy about that reversal. Coach McAllister trying to rally the troops. That can be damaging psychologically. Matt Gibson with a tough floater. Fired with the set, and the roll is dug by Hoekstra. Covered a lot of ground there. Pipe shot. Fenton, smart hit. Controlled. Uses the block. And Sheridan calms things down again. Number 9. Justin Kong in to serve. 5'10", second-year player out of Burlington, Ontario. Tough floater, handled by the Lords. Quick set up the middle. Number 9, Mike Harper. And there's those undersized middles that we've been talking about. They've been so effective today for the Lords.
Yeah, usually undersized middles, a little bit more athletic, a little quicker to closing blocks. Well, they need to be.
Yep. And they've run that quick all day long. Nothing slow about that middle attack. The tip falls. Wasn't the best defense there by the Lords. And that's a critical point. That may cost them this set. 23-21. Ricky Brar, the setter, back to serve for Seneca. Sorry, Sheridan. I said it again. I've got Seneca on the brain, Shane. You're going to have to do something about that. Out of bounds. Josh Butler. We might have to switch positions here in a couple seconds.
Oh, no, you're doing a great job here today.
Well, it's a pleasure working with you, Shane. It's our first opportunity to work together, and it's just been a great weekend altogether here.
Yeah, lots of great volleyball. Still the best left in store.
Little mistiming there. It's saved by the Lords. They have to give up a free ball. The Bruins chase it down, but miscommunication again. And it's 23-23. Timeout. Bruins. Coach Dave McAllister's seen enough for the moment. And it's 23-23. We are watching OCAA Volleyball on we-tv.ca.
New products or services to your brochure? Updating those drab business cards? Or looking to create a striking window display? In need of some screen-printed signs for that construction site or promotional campaign? posters, vehicle wraps, and a whole lot more. At Angel Star Digital, our expert design and production team are ready to meet all your promotional needs. For samples of our work, check out our website at www.angelstardigital.com, or you can call us at 519-969-0712. That's 519-969-0712.
So here we are back at a very critical juncture in this match. The Durham Lords lead 2-1. We're in the fourth set, 23-23. The Sheridan Bruins must win this set to keep the match alive. Back to serve for the Lords, number 3, Ben Gledhill. And I think the Bruins here have to be thinking, we have first attack, we better get it going here.
Yeah, look for a right side set here.
Well, time and time again, coming out of the timeout, it's been Josh Butler.
And now you got to deal with his big jump serve as well. So this could be 2 attacks from Josh Butler that play a big role in deciding this set.
We'll see how aggressive he is with this serve. Top spin. Down the middle of the court, handled easily. And Nick Coleman. A little bit of fire in his eyes after that hit.
If they get the next point, next 2 points. Number 1? Okay, thank you.
Petrus Kuipers back to serve. Handled by Josh Butler. Jeremy Fanton. He's dug again. Got to be a little bit of frustration there. Back to him again, the roll shot. Matt Gibson saves it. Jansen, saved by Butler, back to Fanton, and Matt Gibson makes the big one-on-one block. A setter's dream. 25-24 Durham after that big block by Matt Gibson.
After that big kill from Josh Butler at 23s, I thought, that might be the bit of momentum that Sheridan needed to finish the game, but 2 quick answers from Durham, and they're looking at 1 point away from having this match.
And even at 24-24, Jeremy Fanton hit a rocket off the serve that was dug up like it was a free ball. So
yeah, perfect pass.
Yeah, the Durham defense has stepped up at the critical moment.
Now when you're able to run the middle attack off a big serve like that, you got some good passers behind you.
Exactly. So they have their nose out in front. They have the ad, 25-24. They're going to be serving, and the Bruins cannot afford to lose this point. Their season is over if they do.
Jeremy Fanton has got to get this ball, you would expect. So
I expect it to go to number 11 or maybe to number 4 for the right side back row attack.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see where the serve goes. That'll determine a lot of it. Not the best pass from the libero. That's in. Wow. Not the best pass. A set off the net. Fanton converted anyways.
Yeah, fantastic swing, considering the pressure on that point.
Number 10. Chris Adams back to serve, handled by the libero. Another great one-handed set by Matt Gibson, but it's blocked and out.
Anytime you tool the block out of the middle, you got lucky.
Yes. Number 12, Eric Jansen back. Good serve. Handled by Josh Butler. Went exactly where we expected it to. Matt Gibson and Nick Coleman can't close the block there. Well, you got to give Ricky Brar credit. He knows where he's got to go, and that's where he has been going.
Yeah, when you've got, experienced players like that, you got to give them the opportunities late in game.
The second game today in this tournament, Shane, has gone extra time. Wow. Coleman saves it. Josh Butler with a heavy ball. Brar with the hit, and he makes it count. Brar stepping up at a critical time. And timeout Durham. The ebbs and flows of this match have been amazing.
Yeah, you can't really get a good feel of one team taking over. Just immediately turned around.
Sorry to interrupt, Shane. You're on we-tv.ca.
Good evening, sir. Where are you coming from? I was just at a buddy's watching a game. Have you consumed any alcohol tonight? I had a couple beers. Thanks. Can I ask you to step out of the vehicle, please?
How many drinks does it take to impair your ability to drive safely? Having even just a few casual drinks can impair your driving ability to the point that you could lose your license for at least 3 days or more.
Hi, honey. Can you come pick me up?
Play it safe with alcohol. If you plan on drinking, don't plan.
Well, Shane, I didn't bring any camping equipment with me here, but we might need it before this match is over.
Yeah, if it's anything like our last matchup, that set ended with a 34-32 score, so this one's headed in that direction. Really back and forth.
It is, and the Sheridan Bruins fighting elimination here have showed a lot of heart in the last few points. Number 14, Derek Fenton back to serve. Critical point here. Hoekstra with the roll. And there's no defense present for the Bruins. He catches him flat-footed. Smart veteran play there. Number 10, Nick Coleman, out of Brooklyn, Ontario. Fourth-year middle hitter for the Lords, back to serve. Mishandled. And that's called out. And that will be the match. Or will it? Nope. Sorry. Advantage Lords. Little premature call there on my part.
Tough play to call. Odd angle to see if it was inside or outside the antenna.
It was. Well, if it goes over the antenna, it's out as well, Shane. So that might have been the call. Wow. Jeremy Fenton is no stranger to pressure. You can see that.
He's thriving in these late game points. He's in the back row now, so it's going to really come down to how Butler can handle taking over his workload.
I would bet you might see a few pipe shots from Fenton as well.
Yeah.
Asking for the floor to be cleaned. And here we go. Fenton to put it in play, 28-28. Nice serve, handled by Fafard. Out of the middle, Jansen misses. Well, we got the pipe shot from the Lords, and they weren't able to convert. Advantage Bruins.
Sheridan now 1 point away from taking this set.
Fafard again. Out of the middle, picked up by the Bruins. The roll shot. It's scrambled but recovered. Good pass from the libero. There's the pipe shot we called for. Fenton can't keep it in play.
Butler thinking he could go outside the court and play that one back, but the ball would have had to travel outside the court originally for him to have a chance there.
Exactly. 29-29. Nice dig. Oh, Butler says, wow, got a piece of that action, didn't he?
Jeez. Great serve from Matt Gibson to start that off, but even better swing from Josh Butler.
This is turning into a novel here, Shane.
Well, we're looking at 29-30. Sheridan, another chance to take this, but it's been side out after side out from both teams here.
Jeremy Hoekstra's shirt looks like it weighs about 10 pounds more than it did at the beginning of the match.
Yeah, you could probably wring that out afterwards.
Yeah. Number 8, Bobby Domi back to serve for the Bruins. Oh, he gets it in. Petrus, Kuipers, powers it through the block, and it's 30-30. Second game today, we've been in the 30s, Shane.
Just shows how evenly matched these two squads are.
Jeremy Hoekstra. Handled by Fanton. Out to Josh Butler. Just what we expected. Unfortunately, Durham didn't. I don't know what they were thinking, but I think that split the block, actually. 31
Either
serving.
way, another great swing.
Yep, 31-30. Ricky Brower back to serve. Oh, he gets it over the net. Saved by the Lords. Jansen swings out, and we are going to a 5th set.
Wow.
Wonder if Dominic's going to pay overtime for this.
We'll get double what we're currently getting.
Exactly. 2 times 0 still 0. Great recovery by the Sheridan Bruins as they win the 4th set, 32-30. And we are watching OCAA Volleyball on we-tv.ca.
Imagine a place to climb, to tumble, to fly, to run, to glide, to achieve, where a sense of health, friendly competition, and growth all come together. Can you imagine that place, that destination? We have, and we're building it right now in Windsor, with a planned development of almost 200,000 square feet of athletic playground, and that's just on the inside. Central Park Athletics, some of it's already here, the rest is coming soon. Imagine that.
What will your last 10 years look like? Will you be quick enough for a game of tag with your grandchild? Strong enough to embrace every moment? Will you grow old with vitality? Or get old with disease? It's time to decide. The average Canadian will spend their last 10 years in sickness. Change your future at makehealthlast.ca.
Well, as we near the 6 o'clock hour here at the St. Clair College Complex, those of you who are tuning in to perhaps watch the first semifinal for the gold medal round between Fanshawe and Niagara, you're going to get an extra treat here because we're heading into the 5th set in the bronze medal qualifying match between the Durham Lords and the Sheridan Bruins.
Yeah, looking at this game, Sheridan came out early, won the 1st and now the 4th set in extra points, 32-30, while Durham took the 2 middle sets, both 21-25. So anyone's game in this 15-point 5th set.
So the crowd continues to filter in here for the evening games tonight, Shane, and those of you who are also tuning in on we-tv.ca, you're going to see a little extra volleyball action, more than you bargained for, and let me assure you this has been a quality match.
Looking at some of the offensive statistics, Jeremy Fanton leading all the point getters, actually tied with Josh Butler, both with 21 kills today.
Well, here we go.
Apiece each.
Sorry, here we go. Volleyball's version of sudden death.
Happens quickly. You got to get off to a good start.
15 points. First to 15, must win by 2. Jansen's with the hit cross court, handled by Dela Cruz, the libero. Fafard makes a great play, picking it up. Fanton with the dig. Ricky Brower with the set. Josh Butler can't do much with that. I think they're going to call interference on the net against the Durham Lords.
Hopefully Josh Butler isn't injured there.
He looks like he's stepping it off. Stumbled for a second. Sportsmanship being shown at the net between the two players there. No hard feelings. Number 1, Matt Gibson, I think might have interfered with Josh. Or it could have been number 12, Eric Jansen.
I think it was Eric Jansen there.
Okay.
he had both feet fully under, so must have lost his balance or something on that play.
Okay, Ricky Breyer with a 1-0 lead now. The Bruins, they've hung tough against the Durham Lords. Not the best pass from the libero, and either side, really. Good save by Gibson. Quick attack in the middle. That is something that's been lacking all day for the Bruins. Good to see them get back to it.
Catching them off guard. You know, they chose the right time to bring it back.
It seems like the last time they went to the middle was the Ice Age, but number 10, Chris Adams, converts that. Set. Whoa. Gibson there to play the serve off the top of the tape. Nice pass by Fanton. There's Josh Butler, and he makes no mistake from the right side.
Sheridan getting off to an early 3-0 start, and these quick starts are so crucial in that 15-point game.
The Lords are in dangerous territory right now. It's only a 15-point game. Again, number 10, Chris Adams. Been fairly quiet the whole match and scores 2 of the most important points of this critical 5th set.
Really good serves from Parr to start this set off.
Excellent. You are watching OCAA Volleyball on we-tv.ca.
The first kiss. She's thinking about a million things, like should I lean in or let him? Do I close my eyes or open them? But for him, he's only thinking about one thing. Did she have peanut butter for lunch?
Here we are back at St. Clair College, Shane, and a very surprising quick start by the Sheridan Bruins in this 5th set.
Yeah, they've relied on their offensive weapons, but also, you know, some good setting from Ricky Prar and some good aggressive float serves that have kind of put the Durham team a little uncomfortable to start this set off.
Well, in my estimation, this would be a devastating loss for the Lords. They came into this tournament with high hopes, an 18-0 regular season record. If they lose this particular set right here, they're going to go home 2 straight losses.
Yeah, and 2 straight heartbreakers, you know, coming out and losing to the home team in a raucous crowd and being up 2-1 in this set. Definitely a devastating way to go out.
Well, we'll see what the future holds. Jansen's right into the middle of the net. And a lot of people here don't believe what they're seeing.
Yeah, you know, Durham, their strength was how well they've been spreading the ball around because they are lacking that, like, one superstar. I think they're kind of missing the superstar here. Actually, the middles have done well for them.
The middles have been the secret weapon, really, I think, for the Lords the whole match. And both middles, Mike Harper and Nick Coleman, have had, I think, outstanding match offensively, at least.
Yeah, especially Nick Coleman. He's really stepped up his game today.
Jeremy Fenton with a great pass. Swing and almost a miss there by Adams. Managed to get a piece of it, but it's out. And a glimmer of hope here for Durham. 2 quick points. 2 serving 5. Mike Harper back to serve. 3rd-year player out of Oakville, Ontario. Jeremy Fant with a good pass again. That's not the best of sets. Not much Josh Butler could do with that, but a little bit of confusion on the part of the Lords. Quick to the middle again. Gibson sets. Jansen picked up. Free balls, a little bit of nerves maybe right now. And that's blocked. Boy, that's one of the few times they've gotten a hand on a Coleman hit.
Good timing for them to start.
Yep. That was kind of a scrappy point. Looks like both teams were a little bit afraid to make a mistake there.
Yeah, we're at 6-2 here.
Josh Butler with the serve. Kuipers, big hit out of the right side. Breyer with the set, and that's Jeremy Fenton. Can't say enough about how much he has stepped forward when this match was on the line.
Yeah, and we're looking at 2-7 here. First team to 8. Then they switch sides on the court. So we'll be approaching that shortly.
Coleman blocked again. And one of the rare mistakes he's made. Looks like suddenly the Bruins have figured out this Lord's offense.
Yeah, and just a lot of momentum going into that last set after winning the fourth in dramatic fashion. I think that kind of really changed the mood in the game.
I think the big question on everyone's mind is, why did it take him to the 5th set to figure out that middle attack?
Oh, this game's never easy. Very humbling.
Well said. 8 serving 2. The two teams switch courts, as is the tradition in the 5th set, I'm sorry. Side switched at 8.
Another big serve coming.
Lineups are checked, and here we go, back into play. Josh Butler with the serve. Soft roll. Wow. And it looked like libero Luke Fafard was a little flat-footed, expecting a much harder serve there, and he didn't get it.
You know, after how back and forth this entire match has been, so shocking to see a 9-2 score right now.
It is shocking. So we're watching OCAA Volleyball on we-tv.ca.
It's not just about hockey. It's about getting a great education too.
Academics are equally, if not more important, than athletics. The Hockey Canada Skills Academy is a great opportunity for any student athlete to live their dream and chase their passion. It gives them an opportunity to get a workout in the morning, they're physically and mentally engaged, and it helps them as a student as well throughout the day. Our program is not just for the elite athletes, it's for everyone.
Here we go. 9 serving 2. Sheridan jumped out to a huge lead in this 5th and deciding set of this match. It's all on the line for these two teams now. Great set by Ricky Brar. I don't know how many people know how hard that set was. On the move.
Running towards the net, ball almost getting over the net and shooting it all the way over the left side. Very, very difficult to do and do cleanly. So very good set.
And to the player he should go to as well.
Yeah.
Saved by the Lords. Well, there's no answer for Fenton right now. He looks totally in control. He's swinging smooth, not overhitting the ball. He's finding nothing but floor.
Yeah, they haven't had an answer for him all set.
Josh Butler again with the top spin serve. Kuipers
has put himself a good match together today. Hasn't been used too much this set.
Yeah, he seems to have gotten stronger as the set's gone on. He kind of figured out that right side position, slowly but surely. And he remains a very positive influence on the floor too. He's been positive with all his teammates. 3 serving 11. Durham Lords in tough right now. Well, the double block is there. Matt Gibson. He's blocked well.
Yeah, and it's about time they had a nice double block there waiting for him. Can't make it too easy.
A real bonus to have a setter who can block like that. Nice pass by Josh Butler. And that ball is out. It's funny how a one block can really change the mindset of the hitter, and Jeremy Fenton didn't look like he wanted any part of that set.
No. I think Prar maybe caught him off guard. Maybe he thought he was going to spread it around a little bit, but I like how he went back to him, give him a chance to make up for the previous mistake.
Yep. Number 10. Chris Adams is blocked by his opposing number 10, Nick Coleman. 11-6. Bruins still in front.
Durham showing a lot of fight here.
Well, you'd expect nothing less from an 18-0 team, and there is miscommunication again. That 11-2 lead is now 11-7, and it's timeout time for the Sheridan Bruins. Coach McAllister says, what's happening?
What a change in events. Unbelievable.
These two teams don't want to go home. So the the stadium looks like it's filling up slowly for these exciting evening matches we got coming up here tonight, Shane.
Yeah, those are going to be delayed just a little bit from the excitement from this one, going all 5 sets.
Yep, we apologize to our viewers who are tuning in to see Fanshawe and Niagara at this time in the semifinal match for the gold medal, but we've certainly been treated to a great bronze medal quarterfinal qualifying match here between two very determined squads, Sheridan Bruins and the Durham Lords.
It'd be interesting to see what Sheridan does here. They've really gone to Fenton maybe a few too many times it may seem, but I still like my chances going back to them. It'd be interesting to see what they do.
They might go back right side, back row here to Josh Butler. That could be another option. Nope, out to Power. And Jeremy Fenton tools it off the block.
It's a big point there, just to end the run, kind of gather yourself again.
Puts them within 3 points now. Number 10, Chris Adams to serve for the Bruins. Handled by Jansen. Nope. Coleman asking for a touch. Doesn't get it. I don't think there was anything there.
No, nothing there.
Nope.
Correct call by the officials.
13 serving 7. This marathon may be coming to a close. Nice recovery. Matt Gibson makes the dig. But he can't convert. Odd to see him hitting out of the left side.
Yeah, interesting change in rotation there. I think when they subbed out Petrus, they brought in the setter, which allowed him to shift left side.
Here we go. 14-7, match point. Jansen says not yet. 8 serving 14. Well, the Sheridan Bruins have a whole string of match points now. Out to Fenton, out. Farrar makes the right choice there, but Fenton doesn't convert. Might be a little bit of adrenaline at work there.
You know, after all the swings he's had today, he had, you know, well over 30 going into the third set, so he's probably approaching 50 sets right now.
Gonna have to ice that shoulder down, and there it is. Smart hit. The Bruins prevail in a marathon. 5-set match, 15-9 in the 5th set. And the Durham Lords are heading back down the 401 to Oshawa a lot earlier than most people expected.
Yeah, unfortunate for them. This is how they end their season after an 18-0 season with back-to-back losses in the OCAA provincial tournament.
All right, we're watching OCAA volleyball on we-tv.ca.
1 out of 7 children across Canada are at risk of going to school on an empty stomach. That's why Breakfast Club of Canada provides a healthy breakfast to school kids nationwide every day, which can help to build a bright future for Canada's children. But there are still many more children who need our help. So please help us provide breakfast to the children who need it. Donate now on our new giving platform, ICanGoWithout.com, and visit breakfastclubcanada.org for more information.
Manpower. That's our specialty. We use it to build infrastructure, like the $1 billion Parkway. That's real manpower in action. End to end, over 1,000 strong, forming bridges, carving out tunnels, shaping roadways. Our manpower is in demand. Well-trained, highly skilled, tough as nails. We've got what it takes to build your career. A solid career for building a better future. LiUNA. Feel the power.
Hi, I'm Joe Quenville, coach of the Chicago Blackhawks and a proud graduate of FJ Brennan High. I can remember fondly my 5 great years at Brennan. It seems like just yesterday that we're there. A lot of great life lessons that I learned along the way, particularly from my teachers in the Catholic program. Want to wish everybody there good luck, and look forward to being a proud graduate and being a proud Cardinal going on here in Chicago.
Take one empty field, round up a group of players, add 3 bases, plus 1 home plate, throw in a softball, and add an umpire.
Play ball!
It's not hard to get a game of softball going, and to keep it going from the time you're 4 till you're 84. Softball. Get in the game.
Matchup, it turned out to be exactly
it was a marathon matchup, and certainly a three sets to 2 outcome in favor of Sheridan's, the Sheridan Bruins, I should say. Anything during that game, Dave, where there was a turning point?
Well, I thought Jeremy Van Lee, left side
and up and underneath, or I can, whatever you like.
Really
on top of it. You've done this before, I'm sure.
Yeah, school does lots of journalism stuff. So.
That was some good volleyball.
Took us long enough.
Oh.
Do you mind if you just sign the score sheet first?
Oh, you want to go sign it so you can get the hell out?
It just seemed to be a huge letdown for me.
And you know, Dom, I kept thinking 2 things during that 5th set as it was getting away from the Lords, and one was, when a long drive, it must be going back down to 4-1 after an 18-0 season and then go out 2 straight in this tournament. And the other thing I kept thinking about is how the total domination the West has had over the East during this playoff run.
And you lead me right into my next question here, Dave. It's becoming very obvious that the West is far superior and a lot deeper.
Yes.
I mean,
now that may change.
Well, sure. I'm sure it's cyclical. I mean, being that you have graduation and stuff like that, it's going to change. But just the same, that tells you how competitive this West Division is. I want to bring Jeremy in, our player of the game, the Windsor-Essex Catholic District School Board.
Thank you.
Player of the game, Jeremy Finn. Congratulations, Jeremy.
Thank you very much.
Like those kind of marathon games?
Oh, they're always the best, especially at OCs. You got to make the experience worth it.
Oh, is that what just kind of planned it out?
Exactly.
Have some fun with it, eh?
Yeah.
How tough was it to get into this game, Jeremy? After yesterday and coming back here and playing for your playing lives here.
It was definitely hard at the start. We were kind of heartbroken after losing our first game to Humber, but we did a rest, and then we fought back, and we're back in the game now, and we're ready to play tomorrow, so we're going for that bronze no matter what.
I'll tell you, Jeremy, I was just totally impressed by the way you stepped to the forefront in that 5th match. Though you're a 4th-year player out of Mississauga, you certainly showed your leadership. They went to you almost exclusively. You're going to have to ice that right arm a lot tonight.
Oh, lots of stretching and icing for sure.
We're figuring you must have had 50 or 60 swings of the ball in this match.
Maybe. We'll see if the stats at the end.
yeah, exactly. But, boy, you really stepped up, and congratulations.
Thanks.
Yeah.
But do you like to get the call like that, Jeremy? I mean, how does that make you feel? I mean, it's a lot of pressure. I mean, you're basically carrying your team on your back.
It was definitely a big pressure on me, but I've been around for quite a while now. This is my 3rd time coming to the provincial championships. I've been in this position before, and I did my job, and I was succeeded, but everybody else on my team were the ones that made me succeed. They trusted me, and I felt that trust, and I did it for them.
Now you're in position to get into that bronze medal game. You just mentioned it. You alluded to it there a little bit, the importance of it to salvage something here this weekend. With a game like this, how does that help you get into that next round? Mentally, it's got to be a big boost for you guys.
Definitely. We have our drive again. We have our effort. We're competing again all the time. At the end of the 3rd set against the Humber when we played, we just didn't compete at all, but we have that fight back in us now, and we're ready to bring it.
Best volleyball team's played in a while here?
Best competitiveness, yeah.
Good stuff. Well, good luck tomorrow. You're back
Thank you.
at it, so
Oh, yeah.
congratulations on being named player of the game
Thanks.
here.
Thank you.
Jeremy Fenton. You go back with your guys, Jeremy. Fine young man.
Yeah.
Just so impressive.
They've
all
all
of these.
been fine young men. All the guys we've interviewed.
Unbelievable student athletes. They're just so impressive, that's for sure. Well, that's the story here. We're going to get into our third game of coverage. Now these games, not that those games are not important. They're all important, but now we get into the games. The winners basically get a chance at winning gold and silver medals now these next two games. And of course, two of the teams, I believe, Dave, get to qualify for nationals. So you win tonight. The two teams that win tonight qualify for nationals. That's good. They're great matchups. Well, our next matchup will be the Fanshawe Falcons taking on the Niagara Knights roster. Niagara Knights, I should say. The Knights, of course, knocked off Mohawk in the first game of this tournament. So they're coming into this game extremely hot. We're going to have that game for you here on WeTV. First, we're going to give our crew a little bit of break, a little bit of a timeout. And in about 20-25 minutes, we'll be back here at the St. Clair College Sportsplex. We'll have OCAA volleyball action for you all. So, Dave, great job. Appreciate all your help. And certainly we appreciate the efforts of Shane, Bernie, our color commentator, everybody working behind the scenes here at WeTV. We'll be back in a little bit. Until then, this is Tommy Coughlin. Thank you for tuning in. We'll talk to you again very soon.